Welcome, everybody. And today I got a really special guest, somebody that I've connected with probably maybe 2 years ago, right? 2 years
Yeah,
ago, maybe
2 years
maybe
ago,
even three, 2 or 3
maybe three.
years.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
depending on what we count when we make the first connection in that
That
call. So
first
maybe three
connection,
years.
yeah. First connection was probably like 3 years ago, man. And so this is a long time coming. And I think, guys, you're in for a treat because today we're going to talk about the insurance business, but a completely different segment of it. Tune in. This is going to be a good one, guys. Welcome, guys. Reinold Navas. How are you, my
Thank you
friend?
for having me, brother. Thank you for having me. It's been a
No,
long
thank
time coming.
you. Yeah, thank you for spending a couple minutes with us today, man, and talking a little bit about your business. Um, it's so interesting, man. We just obviously we were talking a little bit offline on your growth and everything that's happened, and it's amazing, man. It's amazing to see people that put their head down and find the way, right? Find the way, and it's not always the same path, right?
Yeah.
You took a pretty different kind of path than the standard that what's out there, and you have kind of carved your way, and here you are. Uh, you and I saw each other at 8% last year
Yeah.
with your wife. I got a chance to meet both of you. Big shout out to Cody for 8%,
Oh yeah.
man. What a great place to connect and meet people. And so,
Just come out to 8% for sure.
man, people, you guys got to get out
Please
there.
come out. Yeah,
It's
come out.
such a
Say
great
hi.
event. Yeah, it's such a great event. You network, you meet people, you learn things, and I will tell you, of course, and we're not doing insurance, but obviously we work in the industry, and
Right.
I honestly came out with a lot more knowledge than I actually thought that I was going to have. Right? For me, it was like networking and meeting people, but man, I left that event with the guys that I was with, and we all said, man, what a great event, what a great time it was. So definitely big shout out to Cody Askins and the entire team over there. Looking forward to being there this year as well, man. And you guys are going as well.
Of course, we're going. We don't miss 8%. Like I told you offline, 8%
Yeah,
is like a breaking point for us. Is we
yeah,
think before 8%, after 8%, and
right.
honestly, I see it with a lot of people that I meet there. After 8%, they start rolling. They start doing stuff. They start posting. They start
Yeah,
buying more leads. This whatever they do, but they start doing more. You can see it online because this is insurance is big, but it's small at the same time.
tiny.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like you know
yeah,
the people.
yeah.
Even
It seems
me
like a
myself,
giant
which
thing.
I'm here in my little corner, I know the people. So it's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
fun.
no, it is that feeling of like when you first come in, it's like, man, this is such a big industry, and then after you're in it for a few years, it's like this thing is tiny. You really meet players and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's a place where you can take action. So definitely, we won't charge Cody for the plug on the eight
No,
percent
no,
here. We'll just get it out there, man. So man, let's talk a little. So let's go back. I want to kind of introduce you and give you an opportunity, right? So you are originally from Venezuela,
that's right.
and I think you mentioned to me that you got here when you were maybe 16 years old, 15, 16 years old.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So fill us in like that transition, and you and I are very similar in that because
Yeah.
I went to the States when I was probably like 11 or 12. That's
Right.
when my parents, we went back and forth, but full time around 12 years old. And so I know my struggles and my stuff, but fill us in a little bit on your end. Like, what was it like going from living in Venezuela to now, to moving to the States and adjusting to all of that?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it wasn't that much of a struggle because it was a dream
Mm,
come true.
yeah.
So because this is how it works. I played baseball my whole life, and so I
Mm,
came to the U.S. with the idea to play baseball in college. But before I could play baseball in college, I had to learn English and go to the school and do this and do the test, the TOEFL, I think it's called, the test that you have to
yeah.
pass in order to get into school. So I had that dream. So my parents were able to afford for me to travel from Venezuela to Seattle. It was the first place that I went to. I studied English there. I did my TOEFL there. I kept playing baseball. So
Wow.
one team got me into a adult league. It was supposed to be 18 plus, and I was 16. and they snuck me in. They used whatever. I don't know. I was so happy to wear my first uniform in the U.S. I'm telling you, my family never been in the U.S. Nobody has ever been in the U.S. I was the first one here, and I by myself, by the way, 16.
Right, you came alone.
Oh, I came alone. Oh, I
Wow.
alone.
Wow.
Which is,
So you were a baller. You came here to play sports.
Oscar, I tell you, I tell my mom, yes, I came here with a dream, but I tell my mom to this day, how do you make that choice to 16?
Man.
16,
Yeah.
16. And I look back to it, I was like, that's crazy.
Crazy.
And but at the same time, crazy. Many
Hey,
times I didn't. Hey, for the first time, I saw drugs in the U.S. Let's put it that
sure.
way. And I
Yeah.
never got into it. Like, you see me now, I don't do anything. It's crazy. But at the same time, I got my first team. My dream was to play baseball. I went to school. I did my whatever I had to do. I practiced baseball. And then eventually I got a scholarship to play in Colorado.
Wow.
And yeah, so it was all a dream. So
What
everything
a
I tell
dream,
you
man.
to this point is me dreaming of the little kid was like, yes, that's what you wanted to do. Wearing the
Man.
hat, coming back to Venezuela and say, I played baseball in the US for a college.
Man.
It's all a dream. It's all a dream. And I'll tell
Yeah.
you, the reality of things is the dream crashes once I graduated. Once I graduated was when the real stuff happened.
Yeah, the
So,
reality set in. Yeah.
so all the way until I graduated, that was a dream I'm living. I don't get to pay. I don't pay for college, so everything is free. I have the cafeteria. I can eat as much food as I want. The facilities are great. Baseball stadium is great. Everything is great. So
Yeah.
after I graduated, hey,
That's when things start. That's when life
oh
started
yeah,
for you.
that's when
And
the US say welcome.
yeah, of course. And did eventually your parents come, or you just stayed
Uh,
here?
I just stay here. I
Wow.
just stay here. I just stay here.
Man, that's unbelievable, man. That's a completely different story from me, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what's interesting is, man, the tenacity, right? And I feel the same way, right? Like what you just said, or it was like, and you ask your parents, or and it's like, how did you decide to do this, right? Because nobody else did it, nobody else was doing it, right? And there was
Yeah.
the same thing. Like my mom decided, I'm leaving, right? I think I can make a better life, and she left and went to New York alone with, at the time, my brother, who was maybe like 5 or 6 months old,
Well,
not speaking the language, New York City, 70s,
it's a
somewhere
lot.
in the early 70s, man. And the tenacity, right?
Yeah.
The grit to go and do this. And I I can't ever thank my mother enough for doing it, because look at where we are and look at the things that we've been able to accomplish, man. So it's incredible the sacrifices that they made for us and
Yes.
set us on this path, man. And
100%.
it's incredible. So all right. So you graduate, and now you get smacked in the face with real life.
With life.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
does it look like? How long have you been doing insurance?
So insurance for 2 years, but
Okay.
for 2 years that we've been licensed.
Right.
But I think before we got licensed, we did insurance for a year without doing insurance. Like
Mm,
I'm telling you, we will watch videos, me and
mhm.
my wife getting
Yeah.
ready, but we will watch videos. I will see David Ford video. I was like, I'm interested. I will
Yeah.
see Peter Roberts at that time. It was beginning. I was like,
Sure.
oh, I'm interested. Let me
Yeah.
see what's going on here. And for 1 year, whatever we were doing, I was driving Uber at the time. I will play the videos and I'll be like, what's going on here? Because I
Yeah.
always thought about business, but I'll tell you the story after. But I feel like we've been doing insurance. I personally feel like I've been doing insurance for 3 years, like learning
Yeah.
about insurance, because I think learning is part of the process as well. It's not only you can do insurance, you can call a lot of people, but it's so much that goes into it. Of course, we're gonna talk about lead generation. Of course,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about the numbers and other things like that. Way more than we basically think, because people
Yeah.
think online, oh, only sales. That's part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one part. Yeah. It's one,
That's one part, very
yeah.
important part, by the way. But hey,
And so before that, you're kind of just, Uber and just kind of just hustling, right? Just out there
hustle, yeah,
hustling, making
yeah.
money, trying to figure out you start listening to things. A big shout out again, David Duford, another big personality. Great person, great agency, great structure, and I was kind of introduced to the business also from his videos on YouTube, man. So it's the power of content, it's the power of getting out there. So now you're hustling and you're listening to these videos. What's the turning point that you say, this is it, I gotta go, I'm gonna go do this?
Exactly. This is what happened. My wife doesn't know English like me.
Right.
I was looking for something that my wife was able to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, insurance. I see, oh, people do it from home, telesales. Okay. My wife at the time was delivering food, just like I was doing Uber drive. She was delivering food. We were hustling to make the payments. Amazon Flex, whatever. What people do to get some money.
Yeah.
And then we will do sometimes Amazon Flex blocks together, but we will talk about what can we do.
Sure.
What's out there? What can we build? Yes. And I'm telling you, it's crazy how it works, but it's literally, we'll wake up at 4, grab this block of 32 boxes. Right. And for the 3 hours, we will be listening to videos. We will talk. We will try to role play. My wife at the beginning didn't want to role play. You see her now in the phones. She's a beast. But at that point, she's like, role play? I was like, talk to me. He's like, no, I'm not going to talk to you. So the turning point was, let's do this because I know that there is a Spanish population in the US that can do it. Yes. So if we're going to do something in Spanish, I think this is going to be it. Because you can be at home and you don't have to go out and stuff like that. And I basically build this thing around her. Literally, I just started like this. Let me do something that because my wife coming from Venezuela, she used to go to med school. She come here. Finding a job is not going to be, she can find a job, but you know what type of job she's going to find. So I was like, we got to find a career. We got to find something that excites us both. And insurance was it. And it gets me like very excited because that's literally how it happens. Like, let's build something where you can stay home and we can actually make money from this. And then we'll figure it out from there. And we choose wrong company like everybody else does in insurance. Just fine. We could talk about that, but that was the turning point. The turning point was like, I don't want you to. This is what happened. My wife got into an accident with a biker, with a cyclist.
Oh man!
At home, she was crying. A cyclist. I was like, no, you're not doing this anymore.
We're done. And so she started. She's the one that she started insurance first.
No, we both did, and
at the same time, you guys went and got licensed at the same time.
Yeah, we both got licensed, and I thought it was gonna be superstar until I figured out there is a bigger problem here.
Yeah.
And then, if you know, you know what that means.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. Okay. So you guys get started. You spent a year listening. Then you take the leap and you start. What were you for you guys, right? And this is the key niche, right? That you guys went into the Latin market, right? You specifically said, okay, this is, and not because you did it out of a need, right? Because your wife could, right? She didn't really speak English, so it was like, well, what can we do?
Yeah.
And you did the research and you found it. And by the way, what a great segment of the population, right? Because there's millions and millions of us Latinos in the States, and there's not enough people serving them, right? And I think you know that now from doing it and where you are in business now. But what were those struggles for the first like 6 months, right? For those new agents that are kind of tuning in here, what were the maybe 2 or 3 things that were just like, man, these were really tough things that we had to overcome in those first few months?
Yeah. So at the beginning, like I say, we chose the wrong company to partner with. And then that was the first challenge, like at least for me. So when I came in, I wanted to be top sales guy because hey, I saw internet face to face, door to door. So I was like thinking insurance thing over the phone is piece of cake. It's not piece of cake. It's not piece of cake. This thing is hard. But I wanted to be the salesperson. So we'll get into these rooms and I will ask questions, Oscar, questions like this. And if you're listening, if you're an IMO like this, please be very careful. I will ask questions like this. Hey, where do your leads come from? Where do these people come from? What do they see? and then I will get vague answers. That doesn't matter. Just dial the
Mhm.
phones. That
Just
doesn't matter.
get
Just
on.
call the people.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on now. I
Yeah.
consider myself a little bit smarter than that. I was like, this is not right. Let me see what they see so I
Right.
can tailor what I'm gonna say to whatever they saw. If
Makes
they
sense.
saw something final expense, okay.
Yeah.
What if they saw term? What if they saw that it was free? And then I'm
Yeah.
talking to them and telling them it's $120 a month. That makes no sense. But at that point, I was like, there is a problem here. And
Right.
we talked to it. And this is the funny part with that company. They made us. It wasn't like, oh, I agreed to this. They made us buy a 30 packs of leaf of $10 for
Mhm.
for leads.
Yeah.
All leads and all that. I mean, I whatever you get your leads from, I don't care. It's fine.
Sure.
But you cannot make me just push me into this. I don't have training. I don't have nothing. I'm just sitting here in this room. And then the training is like, just call, just
Right.
do the thing and just
Right.
tell them. It's like, no, that's not gonna
No,
work. So that
that's
was the
not it.
first challenge, and that is a
Right.
big challenge because as a beginner, that's how you get not burnout, but that's how you get like lost in the process because you don't have a way to see. And I understand it now, and I understand it back then. But as a new agent, you need more clarity. You need
Mm.
people that know what they're doing. And
Yeah.
even to this day, people, that person or the person that was there, she told me, "Oh, oh, I didn't know what I was doing." It's fine. I get it. That's okay. But as a new agent, I think we need more clarity than that. So that's the first challenge. If you
Okay.
don't, if you're in the Zoom room, you're asking questions and they tell you there's no important, I don't think you're in the right place. I will bet my money on it. So that will be the first thing. And then the second thing, the leads was obvious because they had some Spanish leads, but people would knock them out of the portal that they had real quick, real fast. And when we're trying to buy those leads, they were
Mm.
gone. So
You couldn't even you couldn't even get to them. You couldn't even buy the lead if you wanted
yeah.
to. Right.
So, so there is a scarcity. Do I have to sell in English? I ask myself, and I
Right.
say, well, if I do, that will be okay. But then what happens with my wife?
With your wife. Sure.
So then it's like, no, no bueno. I could buy
Mm.
English in English, but then what about her? Like we
Right.
need her to start.
Yeah. We need her
Who wants to
working
do the
too.
stuff?
Yeah.
Who wants
Yeah.
to do the stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a problem. And then that's how my mind started becoming, oh, there is leads, but there's not
Mm.
enough Spanish leads.
Yeah.
Who can give me the leads? Where can
Yeah.
I buy these leads? Can I
Yeah.
generate them myself? All these questions start popping up. And then that's how I got to
And then the
start.
next right, and then a whole, and that's what's interesting in business, right? Where like something happens where you all of a sudden see this other thing, and it's like,
That's right.
wow, man, like I was here and now I'm here, and now I gotta figure this thing out,
Yeah.
So I think, look, it's really important to touch on this, right? And I would almost say like the cautionary tale, right? And the red flag that, and by the way, this is where my opportunity came, right? Because I saw that happening, right? I saw the struggle of agents getting hired at these companies. And it was like, you don't need to know where this lead comes from. You just need to buy it and go dial it, right? And if it's not working, buy more and do more and do more. And I think that's a real red flag. I totally agree with you. Like if you're out there and you're in a structure or a system where you're asking questions and they're trying to shut you out and they're not giving you real answers. And by the way, common sense, right? Like if I'm going to call a lead, where the hell is it coming from? What did we say to this person so that I can align with that message, And so if you're not getting those things and you're asking those questions, I would put my money behind yours, just saying that you're
100%.
not in the right place, and you're
100%.
you are putting yourself on a journey and on a path where it's going to be very hard to get out of it, right? Can you make it? Sure, you can.
Sure.
Man, could you probably find a better system, a better structure that does
100%.
give you that information and provides more transparency, especially now, 3-4 years ago, I think it's a little bit different. Where we are right now, man, I think you should be able to understand where is this lead coming from, how is it generated, and all of that, right? All that piece of it. So, okay, so the again, here we are again, right? The necessity, right? The necessity happens again where it's like, well, now what? What do I do with my wife? Because I need her to sell, and that brought you to push further, investigate, research, and now you find this other thing,
But
and
this is the funny thing, Oscar.
yeah.
I stopped doing Uber and I came do the insurance thing,
Mhm.
and then I say, let me go back to Uber. I'm back to my starting because I
Ah,
messed something up.
yeah.
I didn't know the leads. I didn't know the leads
Mm,
part.
right.
I messed it up because I thought I was gonna have the leads, so I could
Sure.
come all day. Oh, but there is not enough leads. Okay, let me go back to the drawing board. And the
Mm,
drawing board was Uber. Literally,
sure.
the drawing board was Uber. Headphones on, driving people, listening. Okay, you can do leads on Facebook.
Mm.
You can do leads on here. So back to the drawing board, and then come back with a plan, trying to execute in the hours that I have here, and literally,
Man, that's
that's how it
interesting.
works. It's
And
so
I,
interesting.
and I think that, there's always two schools of thought, right? You always have people that are like, burn the bridges and go, right?
Yeah,
Like, there is no going back. I'm here. I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. But I've seen it over and over, and not just in insurance, just in years of being in business, that some people can take a different approach and still find success, right? Like you say, hey, you know what? Let me take a step back to take two steps forward, right? And even if that means going back and working and doing Uber and doing these things, that was the way that you figured out how to do it. And so I don't think there's a wrong or a way, right? That's something that
yeah,
I will say also to
yeah,
people out there. It's like, man, yes, like burning the bridges, and you have no other choice. Of course, it's going to put you in a position where you have to go and operate and figure it out. But I think just the same, you could, and you're obviously evidence of that. That, man, it's okay if you failed and you take a step back and you
yeah,
go back to the drawing board and you try again. The
yeah.
message is, you didn't give up, right? Even though you
No,
took a step
no,
back,
yeah,
you reprogrammed, you
yeah,
reset up, and you
yeah,
took your next shot, right? And I think that's the key, right?
yeah.
It's, you got to continue, right? Even if you do got to take a step back, you got to continue.
And
So,
insurance will give you a lot of chances to give up. They
oh
will
yeah,
you will Oh, it will give it to you.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry. It will give it to you month 1, month 2, month 3, month
yeah.
12. We are
That,
fixing
man,
problems to this day. Maybe do this, carry, do the other one.
yeah, yeah,
It's just
man.
part of it. We were
Well,
talking on our DMs, and I say, sounds like business, right?
yeah, yeah, because it's, man, it's like, you know what? Yeah, on DMs the other day, you asked me the question, like, man, what's the struggle for you?
I think talk about it a little bit because it's so insightful. When I saw your message, I was like, this is real. When it comes
Yeah,
to our part of the business, if we call it that way.
yeah. Well, and I think that it's just business in general, right? Like,
Yeah,
like struggles, challenges, problems, they never go away, right? It doesn't matter the level of success that you reach, they don't go away. They change, right? You
yeah,
have different challenges, different problems, right? You're, now I know how to sell, now I know how to do leads, now I know how, okay, well, how do I scale, right? How do I take my business from 2 agents to 5? How do I go from 10 to 50? And all different challenges and problems. And so it doesn't, that doesn't go away. But over time, you learn how to manage and not let those problems be a reason that you leave or quit or say you can't do it, right? You get better and better at being able to withstand, right, and work through
yeah.
those challenges and continue. And so you don't fall as hard sometimes, you know.
Exactly.
So
You
so
can
now,
fall. You fall to
yeah,
this point, maybe you don't fall until here. You
you
fall
got it.
until here.
You
From
got
here
it.
to here, and that's it.
And then you're back, and then, all right, let's go. And now you know, right? Now you know, once you go through a few times of failures or problems or issues, and man, for me, like, I've had some great successes in my life outside of insurance. You know,
Mhm.
I was in ecom, I was in real estate, huge operations that I was grateful and opportunity to be a part of. And failures, right? Like in mortgages, I was in the 2008 crash, right? Where, man, I own properties, and, like, it was like, man, this is never going to end, right? It was like
Yeah.
this real estate boom, man, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, right? And then the crash happens, I lose everything, and I'm in a place where, like, now what do I do, right?
Yep.
And at the time, it felt like it was over. At the time, it was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll never be able to get back to where I was. And 2 years later, I had another business. You know what I mean? And so you start learning that, these hits are just part of life, and growing and becoming better. So
Yeah.
Awesome. So all right. So now you get through that, and it's like, all right, now I got to figure out leads because this is the struggle that I have. And
Yep.
maybe around this time is when you maybe saw me out there,
Yep.
or maybe like because you were looking at lead generation.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that. And obviously, like full disclosure, you're not even a client of ours, right? Like you
No,
and I have
no.
just known each other, and you did reach out
Yep.
maybe years ago or something. Tell us a little bit about that conversation and what were your insights that you learned from our conversation.
So here's a couple of things that I think. I wanted to be the sales guy, and then I realized, oh, we need leads, and then I started leads, and I started looking for people who can generate leads for us, because I was thinking, oh, maybe Oscar can generate leads for my wife and I, and eventually our agents. Because that was one of the questions that I asked you. Is like, oh, but eventually you can. It's like, yeah, brother, I got you. I was like, okay, good. And then I kept looking for information and stuff. But then, for some reason, I decided I might do it myself.
Right.
But this is the thing, and this is very, very important. When I decided to do it myself, it's because I have my wife. We are a team of two. So at the beginning, she was going to learn marketing, and I was going to learn sales. I've seen it in the business in Venezuela with my parents. I've seen it with other business I built. Even in Venezuela, I built business in Venezuela in the past. I've seen it. If you have two people with the same skill, it could be an issue. So I said at the beginning, you do the marketing, so you learn, you watch these videos, you copy this guy from YouTube, and you push the buttons on the Facebook ads. That was how it started, by the way. That's literally I have a video for Spanish speaking. I have a video. Go look it up, guys. Go do your first lead generation ad. So that's what we decided. You do the marketing, and then you do the sell. I do the selling because I wanted to be the sales guy. So I was telling people, and then my wife starting looking up at the marketing things and all these things, and then she's like, one day it's like, no, I don't want to do this. This is not me. This is not me. This is not right. She got the computer. She went like this, and you know what? We said, okay, how about I do that? You do this,
right?
And then we did that.
We flip it.
Did this, and then she did that, and then now what I'm trying to say here is, if you have somebody by your side, I will recommend people like Oscar. If you are only one person and you only sell insurance, I would recommend get a professional to do it for you. Because if you try to learn these two things together, you are not only going to go crazy, you can go broke. You can, so many things wrong could happen. Yeah. So if you have somebody on your agency, maybe get somebody like Oscar to teach them how to do it. And then you do the in-house thing. There's so many ways to do it, but I will not recommend, if you are trying to sell, you also trying to let the lead generation part of it and stuff like that. It will be very complicated. I know people can do it, but for the majority of people, especially what we see, that people come in insurance, learning the script, learning the carriers is hard enough. That's the beginning. Learning how to overcome objections. I will say that's beginning as well. That's like that's just part of the process. And then you're trying to learn lead generation, how to scale a campaign, how many creators you need, how many ad sets, come on, you are gonna go crazy. So if you only one person, I will not recommend I would recommend what I did, because we are two and we are a team. And we work like this, and I generate leads, you talk to the people, and then we find out. And I was better at sales than my wife at the time. So I will train her and all these things. But I think that's a really important point, because a lot of people are looking, like myself back in the day, for lead generation. And then, but they also want to learn. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You can't do everything. Yeah, you can't do everything. I always follow a quote that is so powerful for me. And I've used it because I was at one point in my life somebody that, man, I want to do it all, right? I want to figure it all out, right? That's just how I work. But I remember, and this is a quote from Ray Dalio, and he's always said this, and he said in a couple books, you can do anything, but you can't do everything, right? You have to pick and choose the things, and so that's really important. And when we were talking before we started recording, you said something that really makes me feel really good, right? And that's that you and I had a conversation about potentially us providing the service for you. And in that conversation, what actually happened is whatever I said to you sparked a trigger in you that said, you know what, man, I think I can go do this, you know?
Yep.
And so I think the message for me, right, and what makes me grateful of what's happened in our business is that I don't I want to help as many people as I can, but
Yep.
I also know that I'm not going to help again everybody.
Yep.
And if I can help somebody trigger, hey, you know what, I can go do this. I'm going to go try it on my own. Man, it's not a monetary payout, right? But it's a great feeling to know that I had a tiny little piece in you saying to yourself, man, I'm going to go do this.
I'm telling
If
you.
you can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
After the call, I talked to my wife. I say, Oscar said that you can actually get Spanish leads. So it's not like a
You're
thing
right.
that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if it exists,
Yeah.
I can figure it out.
I can go do it.
out.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing, right? Maybe sometimes you have time and sometimes you have money.
Right.
I had
Right.
a lot of time at that time.
Right.
So to learn. And sometimes
Right.
people have money and you start with a lot of money or you raise funds, whatever you do. And
Right.
then you can, hey, if you have money, just get the guy and just
Go
get
do
the
it.
leads. You
Yeah.
know, if you have time, maybe you
Yeah.
learn. If you're in a process where you have a 9 to 5 and you can listen to some stuff, okay, maybe learn this and then jump into that, right? But I think that's so huge because when your conversation, you just told me, hey, there is people that do this in Spanish. I was like, wait, really? Okay, then I can figure it out. And then
Yeah.
from there, and you know, everything I've learned, which is the craziest thing, I learned in English. Like from you, conversations I have with you, your content is great, by the way. For people like me, your content is great because you have high level people in your program. You have
Right.
top producers in your program. And that's not only says a lot about the top producers, hey, they are amazing, but this says a lot about everything together and what we can learn from you guys. If you see the numbers of a top producer, we try to do that. If you see a number of top producer, we try to do how many leads they get, how many dollars they make.
Right.
Just do that.
How can I copy that? Yeah. How can I copy that? Same thing? Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that we're doing, I'm not making anything up. I just saw what Oscar said and what the random guy on YouTube said, and I pushed the buttons, and that's it. And then, so
and it's interesting, right? Because and by the way, like all of this, right, speaks to on your end your entrepreneurial spirit, right? Like you're a go-getter, man, right? Like whether it's insurance or any industry, you were going to figure it out, right? And so it speaks to this tenacity and and your dedication and commitment to man, I'm going to do this. And obviously you have an incredible partner by your side who also happens to be your best friend and your wife. And man, what a great combination that you guys have together and everything that you've built. What were some of the struggles like when you did start generating your own leads and you started? What were those things that you were like, oh man, what do I do? I don't know what to do here. And the biggest challenges in you running your own campaigns?
Yeah, when it comes to the lead generation side, the first big challenge was able to see my account, my dollars amount go up and not getting a lead. And I'm telling you, Oscar, the first day I ran a campaign, I saw $10, amount spent, $10. I was freaking out. I was like, $10.
Where are the leads?
Where are the leads? Why haven't anybody pushed the little thing and send me the information? And then $20 and then $30. What is going on? This doesn't work. And, and of course, I knew it would work. I knew it would work. I knew I had to get better. That's my mentality. You know, if I play pickleball one day, I'm a big pickleball player. If I don't play well, I know I can practice that. Same thing with your lead generation. You just have to practice. But that was the big fear. The first thing, seeing my account balance go up and I don't get leads.
Right.
And that's the first thing.
Scary place to be.
$30? Oh my God. $30 is gonna take me how many rides from Uber?
Right.
It's scary out here. And then that was the first thing. And then the second part, which is the big part, once you get a lead, what happens? Maybe they don't answer the phone. Oh, I thought once I get a lead, they will answer.
They're
No,
ready to buy.
no,
They're gonna be
yes.
waiting for me to call them.
Yeah, they're gonna. Hey, Reinold, yes, I'll give you my money. So
Yeah.
that was the second challenge when it comes to lead generation, and that doesn't matter. I don't care where you get your leads from. You can get it from
Right.
Oscar. You can get it from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
A lead. I don't want to say a lead just a lead because that's not my belief. A well generated, fresh, exclusive lead that just got in the moment is the better thing for sure.
Sure.
But my point is, they might not answer. They might not be available at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Or they might have whatever going on. And
Yeah.
then you can close them up tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So a lot of patience have to come into play. But that was the second challenge. Getting a lead and then seeing the thing. Oh my God, it worked.
Right.
The lead generation. I'm excited. But now caller, boop, boop. Voicemail. Oh no. So we have to do more. Yes,
We need more.
Get some more.
I got to spend more money.
We need to get more. And I will connect this what I'm talking about to the past where we were talking about the first company that we joined.
Yeah.
We were not getting leads, but then eventually the leads started coming, Oscar, and we started getting sales, and we sold 5 policies in a week. You know what happened? Everybody was like, "What's going on? What are you guys doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm generating the leads."
Yeah.
I even told them at one point, "You want some?"
You want?
And
Yeah.
I share a couple with the team that I had in the past, but I was already ready to leave. I already knew that
you were on your way out.
Yeah, we were on our way out. We kind of learned the process. We sold those 5 policies, and that was it. By the way,
that was like, okay.
We met our new mentor, and it's like, bye, guys. It was great. And by the way, I learned a lot from these people. I'm telling you, a lot.
Sure. Even though in a bad way, right? It was like it was a process of mistakes, but that's why, and it's so important the things that you're talking about here, right? Because man, everything is a lesson, right? And I think that's one of the things in business that's like, even if you're in not the greatest system or setup, man, there is lessons to learn there to apply to where you're going to end up and where you go next. And so I think, again, and you have that approach, right? You have that like, hey, you're not going to take me down just because this thing went wrong. Somebody else can do it. Man, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go figure it out.
Yeah. And that's a big key. That's a big key because from the negative, many times you can put out positive because you can learn what not to do and you can learn what to do. For example, these people were very hardworking people.
Sure.
Really good.
Right.
So I can take
that. Something from there.
I saw people selling in their closets because they have babies. Come on. That's impressive. That's amazing.
Incredible.
Huge lesson learned,
Yeah.
So,
agreed. Yeah. Now a couple of things there that you said, I think it's important for people. So look at number one, if you're going to set up ads, right, you're going to go do it on your own. You got to have the right expectation, right? And I always say this to people, like, what we do is no secret, right? There is no, I don't have a secret that I do that you can't go do or that someone else can't go do, right? I'm always very clear on that. We have spent a lot of time doing it, and so we have figured it out. But man, even now, right? Even now, there's ads, and I don't run the ads day to day because now we have a whole team that runs ads and ad managers. But now I'll have an ad manager that'll come to me and say, Oscar, this campaign just started, and man, it spent $30 and not one lead was generated. What should I do? And it's like, let it go.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just let it go. You gotta let this thing roll, and you gotta do the thing. And that is scary, right? That is super scary when you're a one man or a one woman show, and you are on a tight budget, and you're trying to, you're waiting for this first lead, and there's such a feeling of like, okay, now I'm going to spend money. I got a lead, right? And it feels like such an accomplishment of like, I did this. And then you get smacked in the face again. And it's like, well, that person never picked up the phone, or you called them and they said, go F yourself, right? Like, I never requested this. And so I think that expectation, right, which is really important, that that number one, it takes money to make money, right? Even if it's a little bit, you have to be able to put it up and risk losing it, right? So it's the only way that you're going to convert and make it into something else. And number two, understand that at the core of all of this, right? And I think you can share your thoughts on it, but volume, right? Like, man, one lead is never going to do anything. 2 leads is not going to work, right? For us, if you're a full-time agent, and you got to be doing 70 to 100 leads a week for that's where we're trying to get people to. And when I post a top producer, right, someone that's doing 40 or 50 or $60,000, right? I just did an interview with a guy that's doing 80 grand a month, and
That's
people
amazing.
are like, "Well, how do you do that?" Man, yes, that person is skilled. Person's also spending $3,000 a week on ads. You know what I mean? And so
Yep.
you have to understand that this business, any business in sales, it's about volume. It's about that consistency, and you cannot let up. When things start coming in, that's when you have to push and continue pushing. So
100%.
really, really good lessons here that I think we're sharing with people. So now you get, yeah, man, yeah, because it's, and look, and like, again, you've gone through it, right? So now, right, you figured out, you have your niche, right? You guys are only doing Spanish campaigns, right? You're only generating Spanish leads, and
everything.
of course, final expense is your bread and butter.
We sell some other stuff, but final expense is 90% of the business.
That's 90% of it. Okay, so now you figure out, you make a change, you go to your new system, you go to a new IMO, you get set up, and now do you start selling? When do you start selling?
Me, never.
Right? It was always just your wife, man.
Yep.
Right. So now you're just focused around the marketing. You're handling marketing. She's handling sales.
Yep.
And
training. I do training. I do my training for my agents. I do everything like that. And then I do some selling here and there, but I do advanced markets. So I've sold infinite banking policies. I got very educated when it comes to that. Same thing. I went deep and I got the one book, and I learned that, because then the final expense is great. I know people like to talk bad about finance expense. I think it's good. Great to start. You see people making a lot of money. Why wouldn't you? And then, but I learned a lot about other products, and that's the products I sell.
Other products. Yeah. And I think, you make a good comment, right? Like, guys, the people that are saying that a line of insurance doesn't work are the ones that just couldn't figure it out, right? Like, that's the truth behind it, right? Because if someone's telling you that final expense sucks or it doesn't work, there's a motive behind why they're saying that, right? And typically they're trying to sell you something else, right? And or they couldn't figure it out, and so they blanket, right, and say this doesn't work, right? When in fact, it's an incredibly great business. It's not for everybody, right? And it might not be where you end up, and might not be where you make what you want to make, but it's a working model, right? Okay, so you start looking at advanced markets. It's you and your wife, and now we kind of fast forward, you and I, and here, this is great, right? And by the way, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this moment that we're at 8%, and you just came up to me, right?
Have to.
You just came up to me and you said, "Oscar, I don't know if you remember me, man, but you and I spoke a year ago. I've been following you for the last year, and thank you for the content that you've been putting out there, bro, because I went and did it on my own." And man, I'm telling you, man, like that was such, for me, right? And 8% was also one of these things where I left seeing things differently, a lot of things differently. And one of them was
that your first 8% of
first time?
Okay,
that was the first time I've ever been. I've never, so for me, conventions, right, have always been, and I did tons of conventions because I was in e-com, right? And so I would go to conventions to look for products that I could go and sell. And for me, it's always been like, these conventions that are like motivational and speakers, and it's like, shit, man, I don't have time for this, right? Like, man, I gotta work, right? So that's always been my feeling about these types of things. And
same.
Right, you felt it right. And so I followed those words, man, and I put my ego to the side and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go check this out, man, because all these people that say that they got so much value can't be wrong, And one of the biggest things that I was able to realize when I went to this was, to me, right, not to the world, because I'm a speck of dirt in the world, right? But for me, hearing somebody like you say, "Hey, thank you for the content you're putting out," and it wasn't just you; it was several people that came to me and like said that. Man, that was such an encouragement, right? It was such like, okay, all right, I see this working, right? And we'll talk a little bit about organic and what you're doing now, right? Because organic is like a snail, right? Like you don't see the results of posting right away. It could be years, right, before it actually starts taking effect. And so that moment when you were like, thank you for what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Because it helped me, was an absolute driving force of like, man, I'm on the right path. I just
Yeah.
need to keep doing what I'm doing. And so I do, man, I want to thank you and your wife, bro,
Yeah.
because you guys had such energy, right? Like,
Yeah.
man, I met you and you met my sales director, Chad,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah. Chad is great. Chad is great.
yeah,
Shout out to Chad. Chad is great. Chad is great.
absolutely, man.
And
And
Juan as well. Juan does a great job. Is he Juan?
Juan, of
Juan,
course,
of
man.
course. What's up,
Yeah,
Juan?
Juan, man. Yeah, and actually, so next week I'm with Juan at Beyond the Meat, right?
Yeah.
Lasting Mark big
Yeah.
event. We'll be there, and yeah. And so it
By the way,
was.
we are Lasting Mar, Oscar. If you didn't know, we are Lasting Mar.
You are
Oh
part.
yeah.
Will,
Oh
will
yeah.
you
Oh
be
yeah.
at Beyond the Meat next week?
I won't be. I won't be. But we are
Got it.
Lasting Mar. We are part of Lasting Mar. Yeah.
Big shout out to Lasting Mark, the entire team, right? Roger,
Yep.
Chris, Cody,
Everybody.
Ryan, Zach. Man, what an incredible business that these guys have built, and you know, supporting agents like you guys, man. So okay, so we get there, we meet, you tell me what's going on, and at that point, it's still just you and your wife.
Yep. Just us.
Yeah. Okay.
Just us.
Fast forward today, right? How many agents do you have, and what does your day to day now look like, and what does your wife's day to day now look like?
It's great. It's now it's five of us. Not five of us. Five besides me. I
Yeah.
don't count myself. I try to look at my business from the outside.
Of course.
I say I own this business, but I want to see what's going on from the outside. So
Sure.
I do a lot of the training and stuff. So I'm in there, but when I'm not in this, we use Discord. When I'm not in the Discord, I'm trying to do the ads. I'm trying to do this, trying to make objection handling trainings and stuff like that. Look at what the big guys are doing. Look what Dana's doing. Look what you're doing, and those type of stuff. So the day to day looks something like that. We go, we do the training. We joined the Elastic Mark course, which we were not doing in the past. They're great. Listening to Roger Shore, Brian, everybody like that is amazing. So the day to day looks like that. We call from 9 to 12, and then from 12 to 3, wife and I have lunch. That's our biggest flex, by the way.
Yes.
Biggest flex is that we can have lunch together every day.
Yes.
And I said this even before we did insurance. Even when I was doing Uber, at 1, we have lunch together. That's it. And that's our biggest flex. I'm telling you, we can go out. We can go. We went to Aspen. I don't care. We have lunch together.
Right.
That's my biggest flex for me, at least, and for myself. I flex to myself. Oh, you can have lunch with your wife. That's amazing. Because I did the thing where I wasn't able to have lunch in my house. In Venezuela, by the way, you always have lunch in your house.
Yeah.
So in the US, but that's our biggest flex. And then from 4 to 7, we make some more calls, and we're always trying to be available for when a leads come in. You will see us taking calls sometimes at 10 when people call in, because now we have learned that people call in and stuff like that. Those are better leads when we do it like that, which is amazing. And then that's how it looks. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing. I'm not about the hustling and go and make. No. I want to be as efficient as possible. I tell my team, we want to make as much money without that much effort. And I'm not saying to put effort into this. No. I'm saying very focused effort, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm working a lot. You're working 10 hours. Okay, let's look how many dials. 50 dials? Really? Were you?
10 hours? Yeah.
Yeah. Like please. I work 5 and make 300. It would be a lot better results than if you say you're working for the whole day, but you're fixing your calendar and you do all these things. So that's a big part of what we do. So that's the day to day. 9 to 12, we try to do 4 to 7. That's dial times. That doesn't mean we're not maybe fixing a policy in the middle of the day, calling a carrier every now and then. I have a meeting. We're reviewing calls. I'm reviewing calls with one of our guys that is starting out. And so it's very dedicated for us. Like I said, maybe this was online, but very lean, very hands-on, very dedicated, because I don't want to make money off of people not having success. And in this industry, it happens a lot. You recruit. People fail out. People buy credit cards. They buy cars to flex, and then they run. That's not my motto. My motto is, you're here. I'm trying to make you money. And what do we need to replace? Is it 4K a month? Is it 3K a month? I did it in the past. Somebody was doing deliveries. I want to learn this insurance. What? How much you need at the beginning? 3K. Okay, let's do the
Okay,
3K.
let's get you 3K.
Let's
Yeah,
get you 3K. And they, oh, 3K is good. Let's get you 4K.
you
And
got
what
it.
it would take me to get 10K? Okay, then we do the math. I do the math with the leads. So it's a lot of stuff. But that's the day to day, and that's our mantra here. Yes, we want to work hard, but we want to work more efficient than what it is. If a leads come in, we call the leads.
Of course. Yeah,
Because imagine you get leads and then you're working hard, but you don't call the leads when the leads come in. You just lost big opportunity to connect to
you
this
got it.
person.
You
And
got it.
many of the sales, I don't know the percentage, maybe you know more, but uh, many of the sales happens when the lead comes in. It's right there. They're
Of course.
just fill the
Yeah,
form out. They have a feeling, whatever it may be, and then you connect to people. And then if the phone rings, this is rule number one. When an inbound call and the phone rings, ring, 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 you run. You
you got to
stop
stop
whatever
everything
you're
you're doing.
doing. You please do not
Go
do
get that
anything
call.
else. The bathroom you can go after the 40 minutes when you're $1,000 or whatever you're gonna make.
You
Just
got it.
and then that's the day to day, and that's the mantra. That's what I try
I
to
love it.
teach at least to our people. And yeah, that's
I love it,
that's
man.
it.
And so agents come in, and you're basically running a broker model, right? You don't. It's not an LOA. It's everyone's paying for their own campaigns, which you basically run everybody's campaigns,
Yeah.
and they just pay for the ads and all that stuff.
So there is a mix. There is a mix.
Okay,
I have somebody that I give them leads to. So
nice,
they run together with my wife. That person, there's two ladies. They work together. Me
perfect,
and I
right?
have campaigns set up with their pictures, both of them.
Yeah.
I put them. They are the founders and whatnot. Both of them
Mhm.
together, and the other three people are running more of a broker model, and I do the thing for them.
Fantastic,
So
fantastic.
I have this because I feel like I mean, this is just me because I was trying to help this person out. This was the person that
Sure.
would do the delivery. I was like, I can do this campaign for the two of them and share it with her.
Here's some leads.
It
Yeah,
wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, yeah.
of course.
But
Yeah.
This is the best thing with insurance. I think you can be flexible. LOA, middle of the pack, broker. Hey,
You can dabble in everything a little bit and find your own way,
yeah,
and again, I think it goes back to the same thing that there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Like you have figured out what works best for you guys, right? You're not recruiting 100 people a month.
nah,
You're taking your time. You're being very focused, very dedicated, making sure that people under you are succeeding, making sure that you are supporting them. And I think that starts obviously from the top, right? Because
yeah,
I feel like that's what Lasting Mark also provides, right? And
100%.
teaches their agents and teaches their people that, like, man, you have to be able to give proper support for things to work. So
Yeah.
what's been, give me some numbers, man. Like what has been maybe what was like your biggest month? What's your goal now? Like what are you guys trying to hit as a group, and what is that
Our-
look?
it's funny because December was our best month, and individually, because I will count my wife as an individual
Sure.
with the 25K. But
Yes.
I'm telling you, the thing with the money situation is weird for us because we always thought 25K would look so hard.
Right.
25K would look so incredibly hard. And
Yeah.
then we hit it, it was like,
That wasn't so bad.
how
Yeah.
many calls? How many leads? Oh, that means we're getting better because we
Yeah.
we done this thing. We done 15, we did 16, and we did 25, and then this past February we did the same thing again. It's like we can
Yes.
do it again. And I know 25K is not impressive number. Oh my god, it is to me.
Let me
Big
tell you,
number.
hey,
Oh,
that's a
big
that's a
to
big
me.
number, man. Yeah, it's a big, well, and I think that once you hit these numbers, right? Because, and this is something that agents always say to me when I get on a call with them, right? Especially like your agents, they'll say, "Oh, I did 10,000," and Oscar, I know that's not a big number to you,
Oh no,
you
that's
know,
a big number. It's a
because
big
you
number.
have people that do 80, and it's like, man, whatever your number is, whatever your breaking record number is, that's a humongous number, and you
It is a
shouldn't take
humongous.
away just
Yeah.
because there's someone else that's doing 50 or 60. Shit, that
Yeah.
doesn't matter, right? Like you have
Yeah.
broken a record for yourself,
Yes.
and
And
I
that's how we
always,
see it. That's a good point. That's a great point. I
yeah,
love that. I
yeah,
love that.
because we love to, and as people, right? We're always comparing ourselves, like, oh man, like I did this and needed that, and like my number is small, and it's not, right? What your achievements that you do are huge, huge, like things that you hit, right? It's like now, because now I would imagine how you see it. I think we think a little bit alike there, where it's like, okay, we hit 25 once, we hit it twice. This now becomes our baseline, right? Now it's like,
Exactly.
okay, this
That's
should
exactly
be
right.
what we're shooting for every month. And then you'll hit the 30, and then you'll hit the 40, and you'll look back in a year or two and go, man, do you remember when we hit 25,000 and we thought it was like the biggest thing in the world, you know, and now we're doing 100, or now we're doing 200. And I think that's the path you guys are on, man. It's incredible to see it.
Yeah. And at some point, which is really, I'm blessed to say this, at some point it's just a mathematical thing. It's just
That's
what it is.
all it is.
And even at the beginning, but I know at the beginning, as a new agent or as a new person running a business, it's hard to see that the mathematics
It doesn't feel that way.
working.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that way, because
Yeah.
you make 100 calls, you make a sale, you're like, oh my God, what the hell? This doesn't work. Or you generate 50 leads and you only sell one. So, oh my God, this is not going to be it. But I'm telling you, if you're watching this and you're new, is at one point it's a mathematical thing. You do this many deals, you do this many dials, you do this many presentations, you get this many sales. It's just what it is. And and this is a big thing. When we started, Oscar, we were not good at sales. But because we were generating leads, we will trip and we will sell a policy. Like literally, will we go like and sell a policy?
I got it. Yeah, I got it too.
So I was like, if this is working now,
right?
That my wife is nervous. My wife will hang up on people. She will know that people hang up on her. She'll be like, no, I don't want to talk to this person anymore. I'm like, that's fine. We're learning. If my wife was able to sell some policies when we first started, 5 in that week, that was the big moment. That was the big breakthrough.
The breaking point.
In a week?
Wow.
Wow. And then that, I think that's so important, because you will not see it clearly until you done some of the stuff. You have run down this way, and then you will understand what it means, what the math means. Yes,
it's incredible, man. Like I appreciate you spending some time with us today. Your energy is amazing, man. You guys, and I felt this when you and I met face to face. Same thing with your wife, man. Like you guys have just this great energy around you, this great vibe that makes other people wanna be part of it.
So and I'll share this, Oscar. I'll share this because I think for your audience, and this is me saying thank you to you as well. When you come to 8%, I think my best skill in not marketing or sales or anything like that, my best skills is being able to talk to people. I came up to you. Hey, Oscar, what's up, bro? I seen you in the past. I wasn't scared. I was like, okay, come on, let me talk to him. I went to Dana, how are you? This is Reinold. I seen your YouTube videos. My wife loves watching your videos. She has learned so much. You know how I met my mentor? Through Cody. I went up to Cody. I say, hey, Cody, how are you? I seen a lot of your videos. I am a Spanish agent with my wife. This is literally what happened, Oscar. This was 2 years ago. We went to a roadshow. Cody's coming to Chicago. He's going to meet with my team. Oh, my God. March 17th, he's coming to meet with my team. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. And that's what I'm telling you. No, my best skill is not marketing. It's not running the ads. It's talking to people. Literally talking to people. I met my mentor through Cody. He shot me a text, and then he said, Ray, maybe you can do this, Reinold. Dana, I met her. I met you. I met all the people. I went up. Brian Askins, hey, my name is Reinold. Roger, hey, my name is Reinold. And that's it. I think that's my best skill. So I think this is so important. When you come to 8% and you're trying to learn some of the stuff, go up, talk to Oscar. And by the way, the conversation we had at 8% was so good, so much value in, I don't know, we talked for like 5 minutes, but it was so valuable because these people, they know what they're talking about. They understand. So we have to be humble enough to be like you said, maybe the events. I think the same thing. I don't need motivation. I know I can do this thing. Just go to the roadshow. Just go and talk to the people that know where just show up. And I think it's so powerful.
I agree, man. I agree. All right. So now here you are. I want to make sure that, man, if you're out there and you're looking for a home, right? You're looking for someone that you can work with, and you're Latino, and it's like, man, I need to find this. I'm missing this piece. How can they get a hold of you? Of course, we're going to put all your information somewhere down below in the description, guys. But what's your Instagram? What's your email? How do they get a hold of you if they wanna reach out and work with you?
So my Instagram is Reinold BP, Reinold BP, and then my email is reynoldbp@gmail.com, and then my YouTube is Reinold BP as well. I think Reinold Navas, Reinold Navas, just like my name shows up here. I'm lacking on the recruiting department, guys. Like I said, I keep it very lean. You reach out to me, we'll see what's up, but hey, like I said, we don't do. If you're this person, you speak Spanish, you can. No, we talk, but we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah. Look, I think it's such an important thing, man. You're building something incredible. I love that we're able to spend this time today and share this, and talk a little bit, man. I really appreciate you being here. I think the next thing is we got to get your wife on this thing and do one in Spanish, man, because I want to get her side of this story, right? Because it's interesting to hear both sides of it and what she went through right next to you, you know. So I think let's definitely get that scheduled. And I've been wanting to make some content in Spanish, so I definitely.
By the way, if you see me talking anywhere in the future, my wife's gonna be next to me.
Yes,
this is not a one-man show. This is
man. Let me tell you again. It's like you said. It's like, man, without her, you wouldn't be where you are, and without you, she wouldn't be where you guys are. Right? You guys are a team. You guys have done this together, and it's really beautiful, man, to see you guys share that and the passion that you guys have for what you're doing for each other. It's incredible, man. Just all around great people, man. I really appreciate you today. And guys, tune in, go reach out, see if there's an opportunity there for you. His information will be somewhere right below this video. Reinold, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Brother.
This was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. Guys, follow me on social, obviously Scale My Social across all platforms. And if I can help you generate leads, if I can help you in any way, even if you don't do business with us, guys, if you just have questions and you want to talk, reach out to me. I'm here for it, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.